Yes guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the George Benson football channel. Today we've got Chelsea news and a Servette preview sandwiched together if you want to see the timestamps, because you're only here for the thumbnail and the preview for Servette in the Conference League. This is it. This is the first ever Conference League preview on GBFC and the first ever Conference League preview, hopefully the last first ever one as well. You know what I mean? We don't want to be in the Conference League every single year. We've got a lot of Chelsea news to get through today. Joao Felix, the announcement is happening today. Medicals are passed. It's all looking good. Joao Felix is becoming a Chelsea player today. And as well as that, Conor Gallagher, the move to Atletico Madrid is finished and he has gone the other way. But we begin with some interesting news and again, a decent fee this for Chelsea. Burnley and Chelsea have signed all documents for Bashir Humphreys' deal. Exclusive details of the deal: £12 million fixed fee, £2.7 million add-ons, and there will also be undisclosed sell-on clause, which is good. It means if Burnley then go and sell him again because he hits his potential, Chelsea get a percentage of whatever that sale is. Humphreys, now Burnley player. Here we go, and story confirmed. Decent deal this one for Chelsea, to be fair. Bashir Humphreys is a player who impressed us, not this pre-season just gone, but the previous pre-season. Think he's a good little centre-back. Obviously, we can see the onus here from Chelsea. We need the money, apparently. We've got to sell the academy players, but realistically, when you've spent so much flipping money on centre-backs, we're going to need to recoup some of that. And Bashir Humphreys, to be fair, never really looked as though he was going to have a chance. As much as I will say this, if you've watched him play, you know that we're letting go of a decent defender here. But I don't think this is a bad price for Chelsea whatsoever. We move. This is a sad one for me. I'm not going to lie to you. I didn't want to talk about the Gallagher move anymore, but I'm going to just talk here and read out his letter to the Chelsea fans and then just give my thoughts on how this could really change a few things for the future and at the future of Chelsea. To everyone at Chelsea, thank you for making my dreams come true. It's been an absolute honour every time I put on the shirt, and it was a dream come true to captain the team on many occasions. I loved every moment. These memories will last forever. I appreciate all the love and support from the fans. Hearing the chant of my name at the bridge is a special feeling, and the banner you displayed against Spurs meant the world for me. Thank you for everything. I wish the club all the best for the future, and I hope to see you all soon at Stamford Bridge. Now, I don't know about you lot, but this did pull on my heartstrings a little bit as a Chelsea fan and someone who has known Conor Gallagher coming up through the academy. For 18 years, this guy has been at Chelsea Football Club, and to see a player that has been there all that time, who supports Chelsea Football Club, whose family are Chelsea fans, to see somebody like that make it at Chelsea is for me what has been like the magnet between us being fans and the club, connection between player, club and everything else about it. Now I look at this and I'm like, this doesn't to me look like a guy who was absolutely desperate to leave Chelsea. There are many narratives that are coming out about this one, and for whatever reason, Gallagher was a player who a lot of people didn't like him because he might not be the glitz and the glamour and the Ronaldinho or the Kakas of this world. But what Conor Gallagher was a workhorse. And he's going to Atletico Madrid now to work under Diego Simeone, who arguably there is no better manager in world football to make Gallagher as good as he could possibly be. I genuinely think Gallagher's going to be a midfielder in 2 or 3 years' time, having worked with Atletico Madrid, that every single team in Europe wants to buy. I genuinely believe that when they've got all of the talent. And when we look at this statement, I'll put it up on the screen for you guys again. It does not scream a player that just did not want to be at Chelsea anymore. I think there was a lot of if, buts, maybes about the contracts that were offered. I understand what the club are doing. They want him to sign a new longer deal or a shorter term deal for now, but Conor wanted something a bit longer. At this point, I think this was always going to end up like this. I think Pochettino, the reason Pochettino is no longer the Chelsea manager is probably because he made it so clear that he wanted Gallagher to be a big part of it. And I'm not bitching about it. I'm not complaining. I'm simply giving an objective overview here. When you look at all of the things that have gone down, there were a couple of contracts that were offered, but Gallagher wanted something bigger. And I think what he's got now is a club that are going to value him massively, a club that's going to help evolve him as a footballer. And to be fair, see you all soon at Stamford Bridge. That's in the hope that Chelsea get back in the Champions League, because I'm sure Atletico Madrid will continue to do so. This is my final talk on Gallagher, and I hope that he does well in the future. So let's move now to discuss another good deal here for Chelsea. Armando Broja completing medical tests at Ipswich Town today after deal agreed with Chelsea on Tuesday. Loan with obligation to buy if Ipswich won't get relegated. Package in excess of 30 million quid as revealed yesterday. Broja set to sign before lunchtime. I'm recording this video at 6:12 in the evening Thailand time, which is about midday in the UK, but I'm jet lagged, so I'm going to try and get this video uploaded for you lot before I don't upload today. Armando Broja going to Ipswich Town. First of all, for Ipswich, brilliant. They've got themselves a striker here who is desperate to prove himself, desperate to be seen as a main man, and Chelsea have managed to get themselves a deal where if Armando Broja does score enough goals and keeps Ipswich in the league, based on the value of what he would be worth right now, for a player that's not really played, has a bad injury record and didn't really get a look in at Chelsea, 30 million quid as an obligation from Ipswich is a brilliant deal for Chelsea. So this is great for everybody involved. Ipswich now have a striker that they believe in, working under a manager who's managed to do absolute wonders with Ipswich Town. You can see this being a deal that completely works for every single party involved. So again, similar to that of Gallagher, Broja's been at Chelsea for a long time. I wish him all the best here. I think the club have made it obvious this summer that even though we're still kind of banging on that door for an Osimhen or Ivan Toney, whoever it's going to be, many people are still saying that the signing of Joao Felix is not going to be the replacement striker. There is also a striker still coming to Chelsea, and I'm telling you, I still think it's Osimhen, but I do think it's going to be on loan, not as a permanent signing. And I think it's going to be one of them where at the end of the transfer window, in about a week from now, Osimhen will just be like, well, I've not really got any of the moves that I wanted. Chelsea are going to obviously have an option to buy me, and if I do well, then they're going to buy me. And that is the way I'm hoping this all pans out. But for Armando Broja, I wish him all the best at Ipswich. And there's also a scenario where I think we got Ipswich on the final day of the season. And I just bloody hope that they don't need a win to stay in the Premier League, because that would be a little Chelsea thing to do, wouldn't it? But we're not going to say anything about that right now. The final piece of news that we're going to go through here before we talk about my Chelsea lineup against Servette in the Conference League tomorrow. Newcastle stepping up work on alternative centre-backs in case deal cannot be agreed with Crystal Palace for Mark Gurhey. NUFC talking to Bayer Leverkusen over Edmund Tapsoba, good centre-back, and expressed interest about Axel DISASI. For me, this would be decent. I think between DISASI and Badiashile here, Chelsea have got two centre-halves at the club that I'm not entirely sure have a future at the level that Chelsea need them to be at. So if it's Badiashile or DISASI, I said to you guys in my 25-man Premier League squad that I would rather we sold Axel DISASI, because I think as much as he might be a better defender than Badiashile, I think Badiashile is more comfortable playing in that left centre-back role. If you haven't seen that video, definitely go and check that out, because a lot of the things I said in that video are actually starting to come true. So, DISASI to Newcastle. This is an option right now for Newcastle, nothing guaranteed, but that is what we've got for Chelsea news today. Joao Felix, I think by the time you see this video, there will be an announcement that will have happened. There's nothing really that's going to go wrong with this deal. I'm pretty sure that everything is already done regarding medicals. It's just about Chelsea announcing the signing. And will he play in the game against Servette tomorrow? Joao Felix knows Chelsea, but it's way too soon for him to start or play, I think, against Servette. Maybe Chelsea look at this fixture, and hopefully we don't do this, because Servette, they're a Swiss side. And I'm not even don't even try and type it in the comments. I can see you doing it now. Benson, don't even try and underplay this and come up with an excuse before we've even played. I'm not. I'm just saying that in any level of European football, this isn't the worst team in Switzerland, is what I'm saying. So we've got to make sure that even though the Conference League should be 101% winnable from Chelsea Football Club, if we don't win this trophy this year, then it's a tragedy. It's a disaster. Chelsea should be winning this trophy every day of the week. With the squad that we've got, the money that we've spent, our pedigree in European football, if we do not win this trophy, it's a disaster. And I want this in our cabinet now, because as much as it's not as glorious as the Champions League, it's not even as grand as the Europa League, it's still another one for us to win. You know what I mean? And then we'd be the first ones ever to... You know what I'm only saying it to keep the optimism going. And I said that's where the home of optimism is going to be this season. It's on GBFC. Before we do get into anything more about this, I've got a 10% discount code for each and every one of you. If you want to buy the new kits, link in the description, GBFC10 is the discount code to apply at the checkout. So I have gone here with a Chelsea team that is a mixture of things that I want to see. If you watched yesterday's video, you will see that I did a how does Joao Felix fit into Chelsea video. And a lot of the comments on that video have been very much positive about the 4-3-3 option formation-wise with what we have got available for us right now. And I think Enzo Maresca might use the Europa Conference League this year as an opportunity, particularly if we can get through this playoff, because this isn't even the first round, this is the playoff. And I think the early rounds, I think Chelsea will be in a position where Maresca can look at the potential plan B, even if it's just for his own flipping learning as a manager. We've heard and we know that he's very much a this is the way we play, this is what we do. And I think as much as a plan B for a manager like a Pep Guardiola, let's even say an Enzo Maresca, isn't usually the way that they go. This is a philosophy-based style. We're going to learn it, we're going to just home in on it, we're going to hammer it to death until we just get it. But I do think here, Chelsea will need to change things up a little bit. And whether that is until the fullbacks are fully confident with the inversion into midfield, it can line up like a 4-3-3, and then in game we can see who looks most comfortable. So, my goalkeeper is Filip Jorgensen. My goalkeeper for every game is going to be Filip Jorgensen, until I see something spectacular from Robert Sanchez. We move into a back four. This is a back four I really would be excited to see. Gusto on the right. Reece James is back, by the way, but I don't think he's rushed straight in for this one. Tosin, Colwill, and Renato Vega. This is Renato Vega's moment to make sure that he's in this Chelsea squad this season. When you look at the transfer market, when you look at the players that we've got on the left-hand side, you look at the way that Chilwell's been told he can leave, I don't think we can loan Vega, sorry. So this is his chance to prove it. And I think now Vega, Colwill, Tosin, Gusto is the back four that we're going to see. Renato Vega we know can step up into the midfield, but I also think he's going to be a strong, powerful defender for us. So we could see rotation see how the game's going. Is there more attack from Servette on the left-hand side or the right-hand side? I don't really know much about these guys, but I'd like to see Maresca, as much as he probably won't adapt the tactic in terms of like a completely different formation, adapt it in the way that we let understand teams. We can learn about the way that teams are going to play in the first 10, 15 minutes, and then we tailor, whether it's inverted Vega or inverted Gusto, to what the other team are looking to try and do. And that is a combative approach that Chelsea can use game by game against different opposition with a Maresca system. We move into a midfield three. Romeo Lavia keeps his place in that holding role. And then I've gone with Cole Palmer and Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall as my two number 8s. Cole Palmer, I don't know why and how, it's taken me nearly 15 minutes to talk about this in the video. Cole Palmer is the PFA Young Player of the Year. Unbelievable achievement. Fantastic for him to get the award. Didn't make it into the Team of the Year, which baffles me. But forget about that because he's coming for the Big Dog Trophy this year. And I think we need to see him play central. When you look at the three forwards that I've gone with here today, I think Palmer will have that free rein. I think when you look at this full 11 that I've created here, Cole Palmer is obviously the man that Chelsea will be looking for. He's obviously the man that we're looking to get the ball to make things happen. And if we move now into my front three, you're going to be like, Benson, come on, it's got to be a Pedro Neto game, this one. It's getting dark quickly in this video, isn't it? Madueke, Mark Yu, and Mudryk. But then there's also an option here where Neto could be on the left or Neto could be on the right. But I think from what we've heard Maresca say, Mudryk deserved to start the last game, he said. Interesting one, don't quite agree with it. And also Noni Madueke, I think right now, Sterling might be complaining about being left out the squad, but I think Noni deserves to be starting. He deserved to be starting at the weekend, and then he just didn't really get any chance. So I think this is a moment for Noni Madueke to step up. There's still rumours that Chelsea are going to look to sell him in this transfer window, which I find absolutely mind-blowing. But then it wouldn't be the first time that I found something mind-blowing during this early era of Enzo Maresca and Chelsea Football Club. Look, there's only one outcome here. We need to score a few goals and we need to win this game. We need to make it imperative that we don't go to Switzerland with them, with the tail between their legs, thinking we could knock out the favourites for the whole tournament here at the playoff phase. That is what we need to avoid. Chelsea need to go into this game and come out of it with a comfortable 2 minimum goal victory. I'm going to say 3-0 Chelsea. I think we're going to have to be solid at the back. I think we will be. And I think with the team that I've put out there right here, whether Neto plays on the left or the right, he probably will. I'd like to see it. Don't think the game is live on TV in the UK, so make sure you stay tuned for 6 Things We Learned. And if I can set up a stream in my hotel room here in Thailand, I will. 3-0 Chelsea is my prediction. Let me know your score predictions in the comments down below, and let me know what you think of this lineup. But I do fully expect and want to see Neto in one of those positions. But if you're Mudryk or Madueke and you don't start this game, you're seriously wondering where the chances are coming this season, because Neto, he just needs a couple of games to get to full sharpness, and then he's a guaranteed starter. And Joao Felix is also going to be there ready for the weekend. So massive moment and a massive game for these players. Mark Yu up front as well. I really like him. I think he's going to score, and I think he's going to score 2 for Chelsea in a 3-0 win. Thoughts in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Come on, you Blues.